And I was like, oh, why I didn't get an audition for that? That's messed up. And then I thought that was a good movie. I saw it on bootleg from the nail shop. And then, no, I saw it in theaters. I got 3 dudes to take me to see it, so we paid 3 times. And then we did, and I would see him at the comedy club periodically, and we would do shows. And then we did this like sketch comedy show we were doing called, was
Playground.
it like, yeah, Comedy Playground. And I was homeless at the time, but I was hiding it, so I kept my nails done, kept my hair done. But like my car, I had a Geo Metro, like 2-door hatchback, and it was full of like suitcases and stuff. And I would always try to pull up just a little bit later than everybody else so nobody would see. And I pulled up and Kevin saw, and he was like, yo, what's all that shit in your car? Like, what's up with all that? What's that? And I was like, I'm in between places right now, mind your business. Like, and he was like, we need to have a conversation about this. We need to talk about this. And I was like, we don't need to talk about it. He said, after the show, we're going to have a conversation. I was like trying to dip out. And he was like, hey, yo, Tiffany, let's talk. Like, what's going on? And so then I told him what was up. I was trying to hide it, though. And he was like, you know, you're a pretty girl. Why are you sleeping in your car? You shouldn't be sleeping in your car. And I was like, boy, please, I live in Beverly Hills, right off of Doheny. And he was telling me that I was pretty. That any man would love to have you in their house. And I was like, I am not sleeping with nobody for no roof over my head. This heals people. And that was dumb. And then Kevin was like, here go $300, get you a room and write you a list of goals out and figure out what it is you want to do with your life. Like, and start attacking those goals and get yourself a room for a week. And I was like, where am I going to get a room for a week in LA on $300? That's like impossible. And then I found this snooty fox just off of Western and Martin Luther King where the prostitutes be, and I got a room by the hour. And spent about $25, and I wrote out this list of goals and stuff. And then I got a phone call like the next day from another comic like, yo, I don't know if Kevin talked to somebody or what, but this dude, he said he know Kev, he know this person, that person, and they got an apartment, and you should go check it out. And I went and checked it out, and I was like, dang, this looked like where a gang of crackheads lived at. Like, this is nasty. There's roaches everywhere. It was garbage. And the dude that owned the place was like, do you like it? And I was like, how much is the rent? He was like, $500 a month. And I just had just that amount of money with the money he gave me and the money that I had. And I was like, man, this is beautiful. I'll take it. That's what happened.
All right, you want to tell your side of the story?
You know, look, she, as you see, that's a very detailed story. Where we were when we ran into each other, you know, I was nowhere near, of course, where I am today, but I was starting to bubble. You know, I was becoming a popular guy, and people knew I had deals and the TV show and stuff like that. And, you know, we were trying to create something within the Comedy Playground. So Tiffany's energy was always vibrant, always dope, and she was just present. And you would not be able to tell that anything was going on unless she told you. So the day that I stumbled on what I saw, it was all an accident. And it's not about, you know, the amount of money that I gave her, because that's not life-changing money. I literally gave her what I had at the time because I just wanted to help with what I saw, because I felt like I had to do something. In my mind, I was like, man, I gotta fix this shit. I don't know what it was, but I said, let me try. And I was like, here, yo, just take this and go, you know, find you a place to stay. And just the biggest thing was like, stay focused. And I was like, you're a pretty girl, and the last thing I would want to see or hate to see is somebody try to take advantage of you because of your situation. And nobody knew about it, so her secret was safe with me. And when I did that, I didn't see her for a minute, and when I saw her, she was just as happy as the time when I talked to her and the shit was going on. So I never wanted to probe too much and come off intrusive, but out of nowhere, she just started to progressively do better. And I was like, that's dope as hell that a person can be at rock bottom and be vibrant and be happy. Like, it shows you it shows you what that person's character is. So
But that's
at that
because
point,
I was doing what I love. I was doing stand-up and I was doing sketches and I loved that. So that was like my happy place. So every time
You said that,
you saw me in the club, I was in my happy place. So it was like whatever. And I'll be in my car like, I hate this shit. But in the club, I'm like,
but what that did, that showed me who she really was, and I got an early introduction to the real version of Tiffany Haddish years ago. And as time moved on, Tiffany and our worlds just kept bumping into each other. And Tiffany, I don't even know if you guys noticed or not, Tiffany was on my show, Real Husbands of Hollywood. Tiffany played the
Tiffany.
nanny. Yeah, we played Tiffany. She played my nanny, the embellished version of my nanny on the show. And after that show was done with, Tiffany was working hard at stand-up and went on and did a special and kept grinding. I'm hearing she's on the road. And then out of nowhere, Girls Trip pops up years later, and Tiffany bangs in that movie, and that character pops. And
You leaving out a few details.
well,
Kevin.
I'm just moving it on. We don't have.
You know I'm a detailed storyteller.
But we don't have.
Details.
We don't have
I was on
3
the
days.
Carmichael show.
Like they. we got like an hour.
pretty
Tiffany. We
good.
don't have time to fill in.
We got an hour and a half.
But then you're gonna be like. Because Tiffany is the person that tells the story. She's like, and then I walked up the steps. We don't have that.
You
time.
gotta paint the picture, my nigga.
So as her career continued to bloom, I came around at a time where my career had taken off, and now I'm in a position to make decisions and create opportunities. And for me to be developing and producing a movie from my company, Hart Productions, it was a no-brainer to put Tiffany Haddish as our co-star, the lead, alongside, because I felt like the story made sense. People would gravitate towards it, believe it, and see how authentic this relationship was. And I don't think there's nobody more deserving of it than this woman, because I've seen her grind from the bottom to the top.
How would you guys describe your relationship now as people who've known each other for so long? What was working on set like together?
Fun. It's brother and sister.
Yeah.
Brother and sister. Right? Tiffany and I have a great relationship. It's a bunch of shit talking. It's really, it's honestly, like, Tiffany's a woman to you guys, but she's a boy. Tiffany's she's a like the fart game, like, you know, like
Yeah,
shit
we
like
play the
that.
fart game.
Yesterday,
What's the
Tiffany
fart
farted
game?
on me yesterday, and she just does it. She's okay with it. She's like, like somebody farted, and I was like, who the fuck did that? She was like, me, nigga. That's what Tiffany is.
I feel like that's my way of letting you know I love you and I care, but like you family, you know. If I fart around you, you family. That's, you know,
And
that's my special love spell.
And it wasn't a woman fart. It wasn't like a cute like and then get out the way. It was like la la la. I was mad. Like I got mad. I was like, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? She's like, But that's what she is. That's who she is. And we're so dope. Like, our relationship is so dope. And I love the fact that the advice that I can give comes from a place that's so genuine, because I remember sitting there. I remember this moment. I remember Think Like a Man, when that shit came out and I popped, and then the movie started to come right after, and I became the hot new comic and comedic face. And it was scary. What do I take? What do I not take? Am I making the right decisions? And some of those decisions I had to figure out without information, without advice, and some I got advice. But I'm so close to her that I can give the advice because I know where she is. And to see it, for me, it's mind-blowing, and it makes me a bigger fan, because her rise is so much bigger than what mine was then. She got a fucking Emmy 2 weeks ago. Like, it's insane, you know? It's insane. So to be able to be able
I'll let
to,
you borrow it if you want.
I don't want to borrow. They're talking that I got. It's Emmy talk on something I got going on. It's not Emmy talk at all. But I love the fact that I can see it. I love the fact that I can be supportive, and I can also be an ear when she needs it. So our relationship is based on a give and take, man, and it's equal. Like it's dope, and I wouldn't change it for the world, and I'm forever a supporter, and I'm so thrilled at the opportunity that we have now and sharing the story and the moment together is dope. All around.
And Tiffany, what about you?
Huh?
How would you describe your relationship now?
I would describe it pretty much like Kevin said. It's definitely brother, sister, and he's like the big brother, and I'm the sister that's bigger than him, but...
It's the shit I deal with all day. All day. This is what I deal with.
I love hanging out with Kevin. I love asking him advice because he'll be like, "What you say, funky butt?" Like I told you yesterday, don't do that, and I do it anyways, and then he'd be right. And I just like he's the big brother I always wanted, I never had, and he's always been kind to me and always had the best information. And whenever it comes to like me trying to figure out like how do I invest my money, like I remember I was telling him, yeah, I'm finna give me a house, I'm gonna put down this down payment, I'm gonna do this. He like, don't buy nothing unless you can pay for it full out. Like, what's the point? Like, why don't owe nobody nothing? Like, never owe nobody nothing. And I was like, I don't know. And I was doubting that I would ever have enough money to do that. And then, you know, then I booked like 3 more movies, and I was like, well, he was right. And my credit score better than his.
Why are you laughing so hard?
I'm nervous. Oh my God, I'm on stage with Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish. Okay, so I want to go to the what you were just saying, Kevin, like the big breakout moment that both of you guys had in your careers, and as people who worked really hard before like making it big. One night you're one person, the next night everybody in the world wants to be your friend. How do you navigate that, all that fakeness and stuff?
You have to separate it, you know. I think some of the best conversations that we've had have been the conversations that break down reality from false reality. In entertainment, you know, you get hit with a false reality that this is your life and this is what it's going to be forever. Oh my God, you're famous and you make money forever. That's not the case. And if you're not a person that can understand that, you get caught up in the matrix. And when that goes away, you don't know what life is because you fell into the perception that life is this fake fictional presentation. And it's not. Life changes. There's ups and downs. Moments are great and then they're bad. And entertainment, that's what it is. So just because we're hot today does not mean we'll be hot tomorrow. But the smart people that are hot today prepare for the times when they may not be hot. And that's the best piece of advice that I can give her because I was there when I thought I would be hot forever. Things were taken, money wasn't what it was, broke, oh shit, taxes, how? Then I got a second chance. I got a second chance, and that second chance became the best chance. And then I look up, and now, yes, you're looking at a guy that's putting himself in a position to become a mogul, a CEO, an enterprise. But I can only do it because of the knowledge that I have, because of what I didn't do before. And I would be selfish if I didn't hand that knowledge down to somebody that's this close to me. So my job is to make her understand, don't feed into this shit. Don't feed into the negativity. Don't feed into the BS. Because the BS is what's helped to build and break. It builds and break. We don't break, we don't bend, we move forward. And that's the team that we now have of understanding what life and entertainment is. I'm not going to allow my sister to put herself in a position to ever bend or break, because that's not what I would do at this point. So I'm not going to let it happen for her. So at this point in my life, it's about full-fledged productivity, creating opportunities, not just for myself, for others, in making sure that my presence is felt in the business.
But Kevin, that's something you've always done is create opportunities for others. I don't know if you realize that, but you've always like kept your friends close, the people that you see put in the hard work, you always keep them close. You still working with the same dudes that y'all got a tight-knit circle and Plastic Cup boys, or your boys, you taught me that. Like I got my tight-knit circle of people that I take on tour with me, we write together, we create together. I learned that from you. And then you created your TV shows, your comedy shows, your tours, like all these things, and you always you keep your people close, but then you bring in more people, and you've always done that. And when people prove themselves, you keep them around. And when they don't, they be out there.
You get them out. You get ready. You get them away from it. It's all about, I think it's your circle. And the best thing when you just talk about entertainment in the way that you just asked the question is just to simply understand. You got to understand the pros and the cons. And when you understand it and you really are aware of it, you're already different. You're already different. People only fail because they get caught up into what winning was. You're supposed to fail at some point in time. You're supposed to get knocked down a couple times. You're supposed to lose. That's how you learn. Perfection is only a word because imperfection was discovered. You can't be perfect without knowing what imperfect is. You have to experience imperfection at some point to go, now I'm perfect. And that's what people don't realize. I see that. That's a clear vision. And I would urge anybody listening, anybody watching, to really, really look into what their definition of success is. Because it should be yours, not other people's perception and not their definition. Success to you is what it will always be. So a win is always a win when you know what it is to you, not what it is to other people. When you fall into other people's shit, you lose.
Damn, I'm so inspired. Tiffany, do you want to go too?
With new friends? I think it's cute. I'd be like, you're my new best friend. I'd be like, okay. We ain't never had a meal together. That's how I feel like when people say they my friend, and if we've never had a meal together, we've never spent any actual genuine time together, I just think, okay, that's nice. You know, that's nice for you to say that, but I know you're not my real friend, because my real friend will pick me up from the airport. My real friend will help me move. My real friend will give me some financial advice and then follow up and make sure I did that shit. Like, so, yeah, it's cute.
How do you feel about the BS from a negative perspective?
I don't even pay attention. I actually get kind of happy and laugh about it. When people get negative, I'll be like, ooh, I'm making them feel something. I'm doing my job. Because I don't, like, from my perspective, like, my job here on earth is to bring joy and happiness, right? And to make people feel some sort of emotion. So when somebody's like, oh, I hate her, or she not funny to me, or I can't stand watching her, or she make me feel like this, or she make me feel like that, then in my mind, you're wasting your life. You're wasting your energy thinking about me, and I don't even think about you. I don't even know you. Like, so I win. Like, I could care less if you think I'm funny or not, because my job is it's not to be funny to the whole wide world. My job is to be funny to the people that buy tickets. So. I could care less. When people say, oh, Tiffany, they say, oh, how do you feel about people saying you portray a stereotypical type of black woman? You holding back the black woman 100 years. Well, 100 years ago, if a black woman acted like me, she'd probably be dead. So I feel like, hello, I'm kicking open the motherfucking door. So you can be yourself. You can be yourself. And you can say I'm uneducated. They say, oh, you acting uneducated. You acting ghetto. You acting whatever. Well, bitch, I'm from the ghetto, and I didn't go to college. But guess what? I bet you I can outread your ass right now. I bet you I can outmoney your ass right now. I bet you I can outscience your ass. I'm a motherfucking scientist, bitch. Thanks to you, too. You don't know me. Look, at the end of the day, bitch. I'm sorry. I'm very passionate. I'm very passionate. I might be the Serena of comedy.
Sorry.
That's right. No, you got it. I don't.
No, sorry.
I knew you'd be here. Can we play another clip? Can I play
No,
Black Voice, please?
Please play the goddamn clip.
We're gonna cool out for a second.
Good clip.
That was my favorite part of the movie.
Hey. That's real cool what you did for me in there at the blackboard. You know, that's what I was talking about when I just said watching out for each other, you know? You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
Oh, there's not gonna be any more back scratching, Teddy. That's the last time that happens. And what was really going on with you at the board anyways?
Nothing. Nothing. No, I wasn't prepared.
If you're not gonna do the work, drop the class.
Why would you? No, Gary, hey, I'm gonna do the work. You'll see.
We'll see.
Yes, we will.
Great.
Superb.
Excellent.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't the clip that I meant to play, but I mostly wanted to do that clip. Tiffany, I want to know where you got that sweater, but we can talk about that later. My question for this clip, though, is how much of the movie is improv? Kevin, I know that you wrote the movie with a team of people, but since you guys have known each other for so long, how much was just you?
Movie was definitely written by a team of people. You know, nothing happens with one individual. You need a group of people that buy into it. So we had a group of amazing writers. And within the script that was written, it acts as a skeleton. You know, when you bring a great comedic talent, male or female, on board, you give them the opportunity to elevate the material. That's why you hire them. And in this case, improving was welcome. And I got to shout out our director, Malcolm Lee.
Yeah.
He did a great job, man. He does a great job with ensemble cast. Like he knows how to tell the story of each and every single individual. So all the improv that went on, it was all funny, it was all great, but it all was grounded to where it made sense for the individual. So from Tiffany's character to my character to our group of misfits in the classroom, it was an amazing ping pong effect.
We had so much fun on the classroom days.
No, we did. It was
fun.
Romney Malco, Rob Riggle, Al Magical, Mary, what's Mary's last name?
I don't know Mary's last
Marianne,
name, but Mary.
Marianne.
And then our white girl.
Well, yes.
She on a bunch of shows
Fat
too.
Joe, she's great. Fat Joe.
Fat Joe is hilarious.
We just had a group. We had a group of about 6 to 7 in our class, plus Tiffany and myself, and plus Megalyn and Yvonne
Brescia
Orji,
Webb and Yvonne
Brescia Webb.
Orji, yeah.
But the ping pong, the back and forth.
And Taryn. Don't forget Taryn.
Taryn Killam, who played our principal from SNL.
Yeah.
Everybody brought a high level of comedic talent within the improv. So when you watch the movie, yes, you're gonna laugh, and you're really going to follow the journey of all of these different people, which is what I love the most. There's a foundation underneath the content. You know, there's a meaning behind it. So you're going to realize that the movie is basically about second chances, and the reason why is because I feel like second chances are what people frown upon. You know, the first opportunity that you don't get something right, most people don't go back. This is a movie that highlights going back because that's the time where you can correct the mistakes that you made and sometimes come out better. Her character is the one that shows it, and she does it through a tone that makes sense while we are all being funny and grounded, but yet we understand the journey that we must take. So it's a good movie. It's a good time.
Can we play the last clip? Can we do Black Voice, please?
Black voice? I have a black voice.
Oh, this is terrible. I love it.
I'm black.
Can we just take down the toot?
Tude, really?
No,
you haven't even seen the beginning of this attitude. Wait, say that to me again?
I apologize. That was a poor choice of words. I just mean I need you to show me the respect that you would show your boss.
Because it's your house, right?
Oh, you did the black voice thing with him?
It's not a black voice. In actuality, not a black voice.
No, you do a black voice. You don't remember when you was in that meeting, you was like, we gonna get it lit up in here, this meeting lit.
It was very lit.
You did it at the staff meeting when you were like, I keep it 100.
When have I never kept it 100?
When you added that AP calculus to my class, though.
All right, agree to disagree. Listen, I hate to break up this pleasure party of delusion, but I have work to do.
Wow.
So if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna do my thing.
That's a black voice.
Taryn.
Yes.
Taryn is hilarious, man. The black voice thing was funny throughout the movie.
It was.
What did he say? What was his other thing that he was going, my house. My house. Like Taryn's impression of a black voice may have been the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Because it was real, like it was a great black voice when he did it. He's like, this is my. But he added so much. Like that was the character. The principal on paper didn't have those mannerisms. The principal on paper didn't carry a bat around the school. You know, Taryn was like, we got to make it more. So he came up with the idea of like adding this lean on me feel to him. Like his hero was Joe Clark from like he has a picture in his office of Joe Clark from Lean On Me, and his whole thing is letting people see the bat. He's like, you want to see the bat? I bought the bat from Lean On Me. But those are the added anecdotes that help elevate the material that was there. So improvisation, of course, welcomed, highest level.
I wanted to play Black Voice because to go very quickly back to what happens when you become suddenly famous overnight. There's lots of people like us here today who are familiar with the concept of black people, but for a lot of people, like with Netflix special, I mean, we can applaud for black people. I'll applaud for myself right now. But when you do something like you have a Netflix special or you're hosting an award show or something, you're in a lot of homes where people may not interact with a black person on a regular basis. So I'm wondering, like, have you had situations where somebody's very comfortable with you right away? People are coming up to you on the street using a black voice or trying to impersonate a dance or wanting to go on a girls' trip with you?
All the time. I do comedy shows and women show up dressed like Dina talking about, it's me. Hey girl, she ready. I'm like, that is a very white woman. Got her hair pent up with the curls and everything. She got the little dress on with the shoes. I said, what she get? She done stole my wardrobe.
I'm trying to think what I would do if somebody, like, if a white guy came up to me and did like a black dance. Like Kevin,
I just laugh because I take it as a compliment. Like the imitation, I think is the highest form of flattery. So we obviously popping.
I've never had that. I can honestly say that I've never had that. Not that it doesn't exist, but you know, I do think that with anything in life, especially when you're in a position to be seen and people gravitate towards you, naturally when people see you, they want to make the most out of that moment. And you know, a lot of times it's not knowing what to do, which is where the weird behavior or the awkwardness comes from that individual. You know, it's just the shock factor of seeing you and, oh my God, let's get fleek. And you're like, what? What? No, it's like you just don't know, but it's genuine. I've said that I've had more genuine than not with my encounters since success. I haven't had a lot of situations that have made me feel uncomfortable. Not to say that they don't exist. I personally haven't had it at this level.
Well, you always got security.
That's very true.
You always
Haven't had security here tonight.
Like me, I like to go to the grocery store, put my little do-rag on, act like nobody knows it's me, and then I'll be in the grocery store and some boy lady be like, she ready! Yes, you are. I'm not.
I'm gonna tell you why I do. I'm gonna tell you why I went to security. It's not for fear. It's not for just being uncomfortable. It's literally for your space. It's literally about, you know, your buffer zone. And,
right.
And there was a couple of moments that made me really go, oh, this is bullshit. Like there was a guy that shook my hand and pulled me in. This guy got this close to my face. I to this day, I don't understand how you can talk. You can talk. He was big enough to where I couldn't get away. Like I was like, oh shit, like I gotta stay here and listen to this shit. 'Cause I can't get away. Like he had a good grip on me. And he was just very passionate about being a fan. He was like, everything you do. He was so close. He was so close. Like every time he said thing, he like licked my nose. And I was like, yo, man, hey, like, Like, I can fucking hear you, man. Like, get off of me. But he was so passionate. And I was like, oh, I'm not gonna put myself in a position for this shit to happen around my kids. That's embarrassing as a father to have your nose licked in front of your goddamn. I said, no, never again. So they're there to be more of a buffer, just like, excuse me. And I still get to people. I still say hello, I still speak. But, you know, I have had some situations where people have gotten uncomfortable, like where I've gotten uncomfortable. But that was the main one. Like, literally, about 3 licks, 3 good. I swear to God, on my mother, that's a true story, man.
Enough. That's
true
good.
story. And I wasn't even at like a place that deserved that. Like it was like Whole Foods. It was weird. Like,
Yeah, the grocery store is like
that's
the worst
where they
place.
get you. That's exactly where they get you.
Yeah. Can't even buy groceries no more.
So don't think I'm a bitch, because I'm not. I'm very much a thug. I'm a killer. I'm joking. Go ahead.
Oh, this is so hard to ask questions. Okay. When did you guys first realize you were famous?
Good question. Tiffany, you take that.
I guess when she just asked that. I don't know, when people started asking me when did you realize you were famous, which was about like 3 months ago, people started asking me that, and I'm like, girl. But when I did Red Table Talk, and Jada's like, you're a celebrity, how does it feel to be a celebrity? I'm like, girl, ain't nobody threw me no party, ain't no celebrations over here. I'm just working. And she's like, no, you're celebrated. People like you, got followers, people, you know, support what you're doing. That's how you're being celebrated. And I guess that's when I really realized it during that Red Table Talk, like, cause it didn't like register to me, cause I feel like my bank account don't say celebrity yet.
All right.
I feel like the bank account need to be like, you know, millions. Then that's celebrity.
I think
Right now, I'm just popular.
for me,
Popular right now.
I think for me it was tracking the audience within stand-up comedy. You know, when I started going to arenas, and then at the arenas, you know, you were selling out the different levels within an arena, because they can cut it off and make it look like whatever you want. But when it was really selling out arenas and adding shows, and you see people support your craft at that level, that's when it was like, oh shit, like it's real, this is happening. But more importantly, I felt like I was being appreciated, like the hard work into the craft was being appreciated. And that, for me, was the best feeling ever, but that's also when the realization of fame came. So mine came within the success of stand-up comedy, not the movies. Stand-up comedy was what made me see it.
And before fame, when you guys were just honing your craft, I know you're both very serious students of comedy. Like Tiffany, I know that you studied the comedians that you love. Who are your biggest inspirations?
My biggest inspirations, Lenny Bruce, George Carlin, Moms Mabley, Lucia Ball, Red Fox, Richard Pryor, Bill Cosby, Betty White, Carol Burnett, Thea Vidal. I could keep going and going.
You can.
Charlie Chaplin. Who else? Bob Hope, Dean Martin. I watched a lot of old TV. Robin Harris. Who else? It's Nipsey.
Nipsey Russell.
Nipsey Russell. Slide some more to me. Let it ease down my back. I like the Wiz. It's my favorite. Who else? Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart.
I was sitting there waiting. I was sitting there waiting. I got all the way down to number 38. I made it past 66.
Well, you number 69 on the Hollywood list, so. He is. 69 on the Hollywood.
On the Hollywood
list.
Reporter's most powerful people in Hollywood?
Yeah.
And you were also on the list too.
79.
it's a good year. Good year for all of us.
Yeah.
My inspirations, let me see. For comedy, first is Nancy Hart. That's the first one for comedy. Just for not making me feel like a jackass for choosing to do stand-up comedy as a craft. For those who don't know, that's my mother. That acts as number one. After that, I gotta go Murphy. After Murphy, Pryor. After Pryor, I go Rock, then Chappelle. Then I go Seinfeld and Carlin. That's my round, like my real big, like holy shit. Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
Is a big one. You know, like I know people, you know, that we all are aware of Martin, but Martin, if you really look at the generations, if you really look at like that generation where Pryor and Murphy were just like the names, when Martin really came on, Martin was so dominant.
Yep.
In his prime in comedy. And for TV, his show was like the fucking epitome of television to us, to that young, you know, young black generation, man. We lived off of Martin Lawrence in school. All the conversations were about Martin that next Monday after Sunday. And I remember that. I remember seeing that and wanting that. And what I love is that you got to see it be hand down, like the baton just kept getting passed down, because then Chris Tucker came on, and Chris Tucker in his prime was, oh my God, everybody was in love with Chris Tucker. And for me, it was just, how do I get there? How do I reach that? And those were the guys that kind of, you know, stood on the pedestal, the kings of comedy from a touring perspective of what they've done and what they did. Just all doors that got opened up by people that have shared any level of success for stand-up comedy are doors that I bow down to for them opening, because we wouldn't have the opportunity without all of the names that we named. And I look at it as a fraternity. You know, it should be a fraternity of comedians. We should respect and appreciate every person's success, because this is the hardest realm of entertainment to make it in. We're on a joke-by-joke basis. So when you can do it in comedy, you can really do it anywhere, because this is what people struggle with. People start off as actors. They have to learn how to do comedy. So when you naturally have that gift and you find a way to success because of it, you should be celebrated. It should be a bunch of oohs and ahs. So for me to sit where I sit now, I understand how I got here, and I'm forever a student and never looking to replace any of those names in history, because they help make me make my own lane to be a different conversation. You can never be bigger and better than those conversations.
Right.
Ever.
Right.
Ever. We are our own, and it's different. That's the difference.
Who are the up-and-coming comedians in the next generation that you guys are into?
Let me see, who am I a fan of? I gotta say my guys, you know, the Plastic Cup Boys. Naeem Lynn, Will Spank Horton, Joey Wells. I've been with him for years. I love them all. Talented guys. I love Lil Rel.
Lil Rel's popping.
I love Lil Rel. I think Lil Rel is an amazing comedian, amazing writer.
Really dope comedian.
Gerard. I love Gerard Carmichael. Smart guy. You know what? Ali Wong.
Ali's popping.
I love Ali Wong.
Ali's popping.
Sebastian. I mean, look, I watch comedy all day, so I can literally do this. Tiffany Haddish. I mean, there's names. There's a lot of young names out there that
Ivy Rodriguez, Shantae Wayans, Marlo Williams. Who else? Well, DC Young Fly, yes, he's popping. There's a bunch of other ones, but I can't think of them.
I mean, look, there's
I smoke weed, I'm sorry.
there's a lot. There's a lot. There are a lot of comedians in that
D-Ray
in that
Davis.
conversation. D-Ray Davis
Yeah.
forever. You know, he's forever been
Yeah.
a funny guy. I mean, there's tons, and it's a world. Like I said, it's a world that I embrace. I look at it as a fraternity. Like it's
Takara, she pop.
Takara's great. She's funny. I mean, goddamn, we can go on and on. I was just talking about it earlier today. Her name, it ends with a J. Is it Sarah J? Sarah J or
Oh, Sam J.
Sam
Sam J
J.
is so funny.
Sam J. That's
Sam
what
J.
it is.
Hey, y'all gonna hear about Sam J. Let me
Sam
tell you,
J's
you
very
look up
funny.
Sam J. That's one. That bitch is hilarious.
Sam J.
She hilarious.
Sam J is very, very
Sam
funny.
J is hilarious. She a writer at SNL right now.
Yes, she's
yeah,
very, very
she's
funny.
gonna have her own shit one day.
Very
Watch,
funny.
she popping.
But that's just a few. We're missing a lot, but that's just throwing some names out there off the top of our head. But there's tons of up and coming that you're gonna see, and tons of things.
And for people who aren't on your radar, how can aspiring comedians start to come up? Do you think social media is it, or should they be in stand-up clubs on the circuit?
I mean, you got to work. I've personally, as of right now, I've produced, I would say somewhere in the range of 80 to 120 specials between my Laugh Out Loud network, between Heart of the City, and between Next Level. And it's all focused on the next generation. It's all me trying to give opportunities to this next wave of comedians. So, you know, when it comes to figuring out how to be seen, it's pretty much being on the scene. You know,
Right.
when you're around and you're adamant about staying true to the comedy club, staying true to the grind, getting up, networking, being out, being seen, being present, that's how opportunities come. They don't just find you, you have to find them, and you have to be in the realm of where they are for you to discover them. So, you know, those comedians that are out there are the ones that are finding these unique avenues and pathways to different success. And social media does help. Social media does help and enhance. That's why a lot of the content creators are going to comedy, which is a good thing. They're finding a different way to stumble in stand-up comedy after getting a fan base. So I applaud it. I applaud any type of grind that finds a way to be rewarded. Hard work equals success in any way, shape, or form. So those that do the work are those that should be rewarded, which is why I sit back as a fan and watch it all. No hate from me at all, ever.
For me, I find that before my big pop or whatever, for me to get the most work or to start like building up my thing was through other comedians. So I would be in the comedy club every single night, getting on stage every single night. And when another comic found out about this show or found out about this opportunity or they having auditions for this, and I've always maintained good relationships with most comedians except for the ones that got like super mental illness issues. I keep away from those because you will end up in jail messing with them type of people. You got to be very careful about who you associate yourself with. I feel like association is everything, and bad association spoils useful habits. And that's how sometimes I feel like really great comics, like starting out, I know a lot of like especially females that was so dope, but they start hanging around the wrong people, and then their whole thing just falls apart. Like, and they end up quitting comedy because they think, oh, it's all dirty, nasty guys in there. No, you was hanging around the dirty, nasty guys. Like, you gotta remove yourself from them dudes. As soon as the dude's like, oh, if you want some time, you want some stage time, let me get in them draws. Like, are you trying to fuck me so I can perform and you make more money than me? Fuck you. Like, no. I'm gonna go over here and do these white shows and do these bar mitzvahs. I'm gonna do these weddings. I'm about to be at these baby showers. I'm about to be in this coffee shop. You know, like I'll do a restaurant. I've done some Russian restaurants before. Like I will perform anywhere. I'd rather perform on stage than on my back.
Russian restaurant.
Yes. I've done all kind of different shows. I would much rather do that than allow somebody to, you know, tap into my soul or be inside my body. Like, no. So I say get up on stage as much as possible. If no one allows you to be on stage, create your own thing. Like I used to perform at this Italian restaurant all the time. I used to tell the dude, look, I'm gonna bring in customers, you know, just give me 5% of the bar. If the bar make up to this much money, I just want 5% of that. And that's how I would pay my comics. And I would tell all the comics to bring like 5 or 10 people. They can get a dinner, they get half price, like blah, blah, blah. Like, and I would make it, and it would be popping, and it would be like the industry start coming in. Then I start getting auditions. I would invite casting directors and stuff because I got an agent, and my agent said, you make more money doing stand-up if you get on TV. I never wanted to really be on TV. I wanted to just tell jokes and tour the whole wide world just telling jokes and just making people laugh, and like in a theater like this, and just tell some jokes and then go home and get my, you know, just relax and masturbate. But then, guaranteed that way, guaranteed. So then, I might have a problem. Anyways, so the casting directors would come, they would have me audition. I started taking acting classes because a few casting directors told me, you don't know what the fuck you doing. So then I started taking acting classes, and that made my comedy stronger, right? So when my comedy got stronger, then I was able to book better shows, and more comics would link me up with better gigs, and then I started doing theaters, and then I'm starting to get TV shows, which gave me more money. So instead of getting just $100 to do a show, now I'm getting $2,000 to do a show. Now I'm at the realm where, you know your girl coming up in the game now. Uncle Sam like, give me my cut, girl. You crazy.
From that story, the one thing that you get to see is that there's hard work. There's a grind that goes into it, and there's one that obviously has paid off. And for all those that are in it, that are willing to do that are willing to grind, that are willing to go down that rocky road, there is an amazing light at the end of that tunnel, right. And it's proven. So, you know, the one piece of advice that I would give to that younger generation of comedians is that you're basically telling your story. We're all writing a book, whether you realize it or not. And the beautiful thing about the book that you write is that you control the chapters. Mm-hmm. So whether one chapter ends bad or not, there's another chapter that starts after that. And it keeps on going. And your job is to make sure that your book ends well. And when that book ends well, you're gonna look back at your story and you're gonna say, I wouldn't have had it no other way because I did it the right way. I worked and I got what the fuck I worked for at the end like I was supposed to.
Right.
No matter what, it will pay off. Some just takes more time than others. Some is faster than others. One man or woman's journey has nothing to do with the next. Mm-hmm. Focus on yours and yours only. You're competing with yourself. That's who you're competing with, yourself. Nobody else. There is nobody else holding you back but you. That's it. In any craft, whether you choose comedy, acting, the business world, whatever it is, it's you against you. You can't become the best version of you until you realize your self-worth and what you're capable of.
You gotta believe in yourself.
Bottom line. That's it.
You gotta believe.
Okay, we're running low on time. We're gonna do a Q&A. I'm gonna start with a couple Facebook.
Oh, God.
Your security was ready.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Right there, like.
Oh.
All right, while you do the Facebook questions, people can start lining up to ask questions for everybody up here.
Oh, let me sit up.
A Q&A is a question and answer, not a comment and answer, not a SoundCloud and answer, not a marriage proposal and answer. So let's keep it cool, okay? So our first question is Brittany from Facebook wondering, did you two have any mentors that helped you, pushed you early on?
Mentors.
Yes.
Who's your mentors, Tim?
Chris Spencer was a great mentor. Mm-hmm. Jamie Masada, he on the Live Factory. You were a great mentor. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of mentors. It's a long list, but that's a short.
I'm gonna say Keith Robinson for me. Keith Robinson, very, very funny comedian, acted as an amazing mentor, and Chris Rock. Chris Rock acted as an amazing mentor, and last but not least, Steve Harvey. Great advice, great information came from Steve. He
texted me the other day. I was like, how did he get my phone number?
Steve is a great guy.
He gave me some great advice, too. Unsolicited.
Steve is great. He's a great guy.
Can we go to our first audience question? Yeah?
I'm gonna go first. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Hi, Tiffany and Kevin. I just got started in stand-up. I'm really excited. Tiffany, you actually inspired me to be your best self on stage, so I'm really Like, I'm just honored that everything came full circle. And Kevin, I used to watch your stand-up with my ex-boyfriend. I talk about him in my set. But I just want to know, I guess, like, I'm watching your interaction, and I know you guys are playing around, but how do you know you take a joke too far? And also, second part, when do you know you have your closer, like that you know that joke is going to hit and that's the one?
I'll answer your second question first.
Okay.
Jokes come in threes. So there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. Anything you start, you have to understand that it has to finish, and it has to be a payoff. So if you're telling a joke and there's a story, just understand that the story is interesting because people want to know what happens at the end. Make sure that your end is a button and that it ends at that button and that you can move on to something else. When you end your jokes with like, and that's crazy, or, you know, like, and that's why, you know, that shit be wild sometimes. Like those aren't buttons, but in the beginning, that's a thing that you're supposed to do because you're figuring it out.
Right.
Just know that it needs a hard punctuation to anything that you do. And as far as taking jokes too far, you know, times are different. We're different as people. And we live in a world right now where opinion and feelings matter. Where at one point it was about saying what you said and people didn't have a voice to tell you how they felt about what you said. Social media gives people a voice, so don't be insensitive to the world and the feelings of others because you have a microphone.
I always say, think before you speak.
Very
If
true.
somebody said it to you, how would you feel about it? Straight up.
Very true.
That's how I do it. And then I try to put a lot of seasoning salt on it.
Very true. Even though it's jokes, even though we know that it's jokes, just understand that within a joke, there's a correct way and a wrong way to say it. So you can still say what you want, but there's a correct way to do it. So just be conscious of that, especially with today's times.
All right. Well, my name is Glory. You'll see me again.
All
See
right,
you
good
later,
seeing you.
Glory. Yes.
We have another Facebook question. What careers would you guys pursue if you weren't in comedy?
I'd be a sex education teacher. I think I would be excellent at it. I would teach people how to keep clean and don't be a whore.
Yeah.
Be a slut.
I would probably be a hand model.
Let's see.
I have amazing hands. Yeah. I have really good hands. Like, you never knew I could do that, did you? It's like
I would say you could have been a magician. Your prestidigitation is popping.
Heinz ketchup. This is great. Go ahead.
Got great fingernail beds.
Yeah, I
you can do
have
it.
great hands. Good.
We go to our next question right here.
Hey, how you doing?
Ooh.
All right, Gary, right in the middle.
What I want to know is, what was your lowest point when you know you was just about to... What was that? What was that point in your career when you knew that you couldn't go no further, that you had to win now because you was already at the bottom? What was that moment when that happened?
For me?
Yeah.
It ain't for me. That question ain't for me. He ain't talking my drawers off. Hey, you go right here. You can answer that one.
I can't even think right now.
Yeah.
I would have to say, about 5 years ago, I became single and I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. And I ended up I ended up sharing like a studio apartment with 2 white dudes, and I was sleeping on the couch, and they would and one of them would come in at 3 o'clock in the morning arguing with his girlfriend, and then asking me to like monitor that, like be the like mediator, and I was like, this is not ever gonna happen again. This is the lowest. And I got in my car and I drove around, and I had a little bit of money saved, and I got me a spot, and I redid my list, and I booked a TV show like 3 days later. And yeah.
Thank you so much.
There you go. Thank you.
I'm still single, by the way.
Thank you, Dark Vader. We appreciate you,
I
brother.
just wanted to come on and go with me. Come on over to my
I said, I'd be damned if I answered that question. Go ahead.
Okay, we got more. What Patty from Facebook wants to know, what advice do you have for people who want to pursue their artistic passions but feel afraid to do so?
Go ahead, Tiff, you can take it.
They want to pursue their artistic fashions, but they're afraid to do so.
Mm-hmm.
If you're afraid, then then it's shit. You already messed up. Like, I mean, if it's something that you love to do and you know you're good at it, go for it. Like, what do you have to lose? Like, if it's something that you love, I say always do what you love, and go for it. Put in 110% and see what happens. Put it in the work. And if you're really, really scared, just do one thing every day towards that thing, and then see how it progresses. Give it 6 months. If you do one thing towards it every day for 6 months, if it's for you, things will start to flourish. If it ain't, then move on.
Yeah, that's good advice. I think I'll piggyback off of that. Look, you know, at the end of the day, you're afraid at something that you have no idea, like at what feeling you're going to get from it, because you're being afraid based off of a decision that you're making based on a thought that hasn't happened. Like it's all fiction. Like you've never done it, so your fear is coming from
False information,
a false
appearing
place.
real.
So I would say do it, and then base your fears off of what you did, and then make your decisions after that. It's nothing worse than living life and then having regret at some point about the things that you didn't do. Don't be I wish I had the person that has to say, you know what I wish I had a did? Damn, I wish I had oh my God, you know what I wish I had a, don't be that individual. Because that individual ends up looking back at 8 years of I wish I had us, and then you realize that you ain't did shit. You get one life. You get one life. My suggestion is live that life to the fullest. Don't live it to have doubt at the end of it. So go full steam ahead with the things that you want to do, and at least say you did it. Whether it works or not, at least say you did it.
Gave it a shot.
That's it. That's my advice.
Go over here.
Hi, I'm Nia Soyemi. I am a theater major here at CCNY. What was your time? What was your timeline based upon when you started up until now? Like, what was that? Like, how long did it take for you to really just keep pushing through? Like, basically, I've been at this since I was 3. I'm an actor, and so I'm like, I'm about to be 24, actress, right?
Girl.
I'm about to be 23. I'm like, when is my time, Jesus?
23.
Yeah. Stop. But that's still a very long time.
Girl, if you don't shut up. 23. 23.
You just now getting in control of who you are. You just getting to know yourself.
Yeah, this is where it's supposed to start. This is where your hard work pays off. I'm stand up since 1998. That's stand up. I've what is it, 2018 now? You got to think that out of all that time, my real success has come since 2009. For real, if you want to say real success, and then if you want to say the real stardom, 2012. So from 1998 to 2009 was figuring it out. 2009 was an opportunity. After that opportunity, 2010, 11 was trying to make the most out of it. 2012, oh shit, this is the most. And now 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, you rolling, but everything is compounding based off of what you did. You're now creating a body of work. So the time that you put into the craft is basically grooming you for the world that you're about to see. See, so many people want that shit so quick when you're not groomed for it. You're not groomed for rejection for real. You're not groomed for hate. You're not groomed to be told that you're not talented yet. So if you get smacked with that at the age 17 when you thought you were, it's life-threatening and changing because all you thought that you had and did was put into the one thing that just fell underneath you. So if you're not groomed to handle that, then that opportunity was given to you at a time when you weren't ready, and it's a wasted opportunity. Don't complain about your grooming. Understand that it's being prepped for a reason. You'll be ready when that time is right.
Yep.
Don't not be ready when that time is right, because that means that the bitching and complaining took place of the hard work. Be ready for your time when it comes. So accept and appreciate your time of grooming. Don't look down on it like when, because you're not going to see it when it comes. That's
Right.
my advice.
It's just gonna happen.
All right?
Thank you.
Okay,
How you doing?
we got time for one last question.
How you doing?
That was good. That was good. I didn't believe it because you were light skinned. No way. Yeah, no way your voice sounded like that. I don't think I've ever heard a light skinned guy with a deep voice like that. Go ahead.
I ain't got it in me.
Yeah. It'd have been funny if he had told friends like, yeah, no, I ain't got it. Go ahead.
Tough act to All right, so oh no, I'm a fan of a lot of your stuff. And
Thank you, man.
particularly, I like what you do with the NBA. You know, like and TNT and all that. And just wanted to know if you were, thinking of doing like a basketball like based film. I would love to see something like that.
It's not on the horizon as of now, but I would never say never. You never know what is coming up. Right now, the focus is making movies like the ones that me and Tiffany are doing, night school content that I feel is
You
grounded.
could be a coach of a kid's
Yeah.
basketball league.
Okay, all right. Well, that's not.
She could be the
you
coach.
know.
Yes.
And you could be the player.
Yeah, that's not. But it's not. That's not.
10-year-old.
I said no. I said no.
You don't want to work with kids?
I don't want to work.
Whether you scared they're going to be taller than you?
Okay, you know what? No. That's the answer is soon, maybe. Okay, don't listen
I'll
to
write
this
it.
shit.
I'll write it.
Don't listen to Tiffany and her shit. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's all the time we had. We
Do
just
two
went
more.
over.
Do those.
All right,
Do,
you
do
got
at
time.
least- We can do you and then him behind. Y'all got a longer line, so let's do.
Just
Let's just
first
do
Go
two.
ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, hi, I'm a big fan of both of you guys, but this question's for Tiffany. So
What
you
the
guys,
fuck? Go ahead.
So I was wondering, you guys were talking about improvising earlier, and for Tiffany, I mean, Girls Trip was a huge break for you, and I mean, your role in it was so iconic. And so I was wondering, because you seem like kind of so yourself, kind of like based on the interview and the movie, so I was wondering if you ad-libbed and improvised a lot in it.
In Girls Trip?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny because Malcolm Lee directed that as well. And what we would do is, okay, so like the night before I would be like planning, like, oh, this would be funny and this would be funny. I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna try that. And I would ask Malcolm, and Malcolm would be like, okay, Tiffany, we're gonna just stick to the script first. We'll get a couple of shots of that, and then maybe we'll play. And then I would tell like Lai and Jada like what I want to do, and Regina and Regina be like, do what Malcolm say, and Jada's like, I don't know, Tiffany, I don't know, and I'd be like, do that shit, just do that shit, go for it, just go for it. Fuck what he said, go for that shit. And then I would go for it, and we would do it straight like one time what the script says, and then I would just go for it. And I didn't think none of that stuff would end up in there. It's like 85% of it ended up in the movie. So.
Right? A little shorter than you. So, Thank you guys for coming. Being that I am a struggling college student as a theater major, as there are many other here as well, you two, as you expressed earlier, have had hills and valleys. And as the voice of God said, that when you guys were at your lowest, what was the one thing that kept you guys moving forward? You know, you're at your lowest, and were there moments where you're like, I don't think I can do this? Was there ever a moment when you felt that way? And what brought you back from that?
Yeah, I was in a relationship with somebody that was like, you don't need to do this. You a girl, like girls don't do comedy. Like you need to just chill and be with me. And I would be like, and the D was good, so I'd be like, okay. But then but like a week would go by and like I love stand-up. Like I love to be on stage. I love to hear laughter. I love to perform, and I just couldn't. After so long, I would just be like a crackhead. I couldn't help myself. I love it so much. Like, and then I would be doing it at my job. I'd be like at the airport, Alaska Airlines Flight 237 with service to Los Cabos. Like, I couldn't help myself. I needed it. I would be getting pulled over by the police and be like, if I can make this policeman laugh. Like, I just fiend to hear the laugh. So I knew this is like where I needed to be. And so at those moments where I'm just like, man, nobody wants me to perform, no comedy clubs will let me get on, nobody will let me get an audition. This man don't want me to do this. I would just, it would be something I would say, something I would do, and somebody would laugh, and I'd be like, man, I'm gonna just get my own room. I'm gonna make my own thing happen. Like, I love it so much. Like, it's my everything, man. It's my everything.
I think you gotta understand, you gotta look at it like a test. You know, everything in life is a test. And if you look at it from this perspective, I'm gonna give you a good perspective. There's a certain amount of people that quote unquote make it, right? There's not a lot when you look at the people. There's not a long list of superstars, okay? And the reason why is because everybody starts out on the same path, on the same journey, and everybody gets hit with those same tests. But along the way, some people, when they get that moment like you're talking about, go, fuck this, man. I don't have time. I'm not gonna keep putting myself through this. I'm just gonna go figure it out and do something else. And at that same moment, there's another person that says, you know what? I'm not gonna let it beat me. I'm gonna get by this and I'm gonna keep pushing forward. And that person that kept pushing forward made it past another level. That person that decided not to chose to go back. So many people go back. So you have to look at those moments as tests. They're tests of character. They're tests of pure wit and will as to, do you really wanna do what you said that you want to do? And if you do want to do it, do you want to earn it, or do you want it to be given to you? That's what you got to look at it as.
And so, if it's given to you, it will be taken.
It can't be taken if you don't earn it. So when you got those moments of grind and you like, shit, I got a bowl of noodles, I'm sitting on a crate. It can't be this. This can't be life. Think about that moment when you make it, and you talk about when you sat on that fucking crate and you had that bowl of noodles. It makes it all worth it. So if you don't have stories, you got no journey. People are so afraid to embrace the journey, man. Embrace your goddamn journey.
That's what the Wiz was about.
Embrace it. Embrace the journey.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Hey, whoa, that's loud. Hey, Kevin, I do stand-up, and I'm going to propose to my girlfriend next weekend.
Good shit. Congratulations.
Thank you. So,
hopefully nobody in here knows her.
I was reading your book, and when you were coming up, you balanced your intimate relationship with stand-up. How were you able to do that successfully?
I'll tell you what, it's a learning curve, and it's one that I learned as I went on. As you know, I've made mistakes. I've done stupid shit, and I would say, don't let the world of comedy and the nightlife take you away from focusing on what you're focused on now. You know, if that's a decision that you're making, make that decision and make sure you're serious about it. Make sure that she supports what it is that you're going to do. But the world of comedy is a late night world. So understand that. Understand that you need a woman that's going to back your 2 a.m.s and your 3 a.m.s and your 4 a.m.s and your out and sitting and talking in front of a bar with comedians. Like, you need somebody that understands that on both sides, male and female.
Men don't
get it. It's really a different world, and it's a world that becomes a drug because you can get caught up into it. So I think the balancing for me became easier as I got older and wiser. I'm a lot wiser now, and the mistakes that were made helped make me who I am today and gave me the knowledge. So I can share with you a genuine moment by saying that's dope as hell, but just make sure that you really understand what you want, and make sure that person, when you do make that decision, understands what you want, and that there's a balance of support for one another.
Good communication.
That's it. Balance of support for one another. Not just you and her and you as well. That's my advice.
Thank
you.
Hello, my name is Isaac. I'm from Washington Heights, but whatnot, you know what I'm saying? My first question is for Tiffany. You still shop at Groupon?
Yes, I still buy stuff off Groupon. Yes, I do.
But yeah, my question for both of you all is, do you guys have any inspiring advice for like a person that really wants to come up and have, not just comedian career, like also like acting or anything else?
That's it.
Figure out what it is you want to do. Focus on that one thing and like do the work every day. Like I remember reading a book, and I think it was the Beatles were talking about it. Somebody was talking about it that made it really big and like iconic, was saying you got to put in 10,000 hours before you become like an expert at something. So put in your 10,000 hours at whatever it is you want to do. Pick one thing. Like I picked stand-up first, and then acting came along and all these other things. But pick one thing and like focus. That's what I would say.
Good advice. Take one, own it.
Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. Take it easy, man.
Hello?
How are you?
My name is Josemar. I do acting, I'm singing, and I'm a model as well.
He holds that microphone like he's singing too.
Hello.
You can tell.
Ladies.
So this question is out for you, Kevin Hart. Since I'm still trying to find my niche, and quite recently I've realized your pattern's more of buddy comedies. Which one, at what point are you going to just say, let's have a buddy comedy with Tiffany Haddish, The Rock, Will Ferrell, and just make it all into one big movie again?
I'm developing.
I was just saying this earlier today.
You'll hear the announcement probably mid-October. We're working on a big movie that will act as our version of.
Scary movie?
No, just think like a Harlem Nights or something in that way. So we're working on it. The deals and stuff are almost done, but the idea behind it is to put, a cast of people together that you're excited to see, and that could become a story. There's certain movies that you talk about that had everybody in it that are forever conversations, and our generation doesn't have that, especially from a diverse perspective with everybody. And the whole reason for becoming a CEO and the whole Heartbeat Productions is to create the kind of content that I feel is missing and that there's lack of. So you'll give me till about mid-October, you'll hear it, and you'll remember this conversation. It's going, oh shit, he told me. But it's in the works.
I'll remind you.
Okay, I promise you it's in the works though.
I'll be paying attention as well.
Save the best for last. How you doing?
Thank you. All right, so I have a request. I do.
Uh-oh.
I'm not asking about career. A legend passed away 2 days ago in the dance world, Mr. Arthur Mitchell.
Yes.
And so, based on both of your Instagrams, I know that both of you all have dance moves. So I'm gonna request that y'all do a dance off for us.
A dance off?
A dance off.
A dance off?
He founded the Dance Theater of Harlem, and it's their 50th anniversary this year.
That's very true, but I
can
can't
do it,
dance.
Kevin. You can do it.
Let's do it, Kevin.
But
So
this
you
is
guys
a
can
very
decide.
unfair request, but I
And
have
Miss
to.
Hughes, you get to
But
be
you
the
said
judge.
to keep taking the
Yes,
questions,
you
so
can do this.
we
All
brought
of you
this
can do
upon
this.
us.
I saved the best for last. I didn't know she would do this to us.
So I have you. Who's going first? Because I have your dance inspiration.
Well, I'll go first because I know mine is going to be good.
Okay. So your inspiration is that Miss Haddish, you want her to pay the money forward that you gave her when she was down and out living in her car, and are so happy to be doing this movie with her, and you need to remind The Rock that you have moves.
What the?
That's your inspiration. Inspiration. So you're doing.
All right, let's go.
Who are you? Like what
Is this a modern? This is modern dance.
Yeah. What do you mean inspiration?
Do you want
Is
yours?
there
What am I supposed to do? What is she? I'm confused. Can I say something? I'm confused about inspiration. I don't. What do you mean? I don't even.
Inspiring all of us tonight.
So
you
what?
can do this.
Is it like? Do I gotta like paint a like?
You have got moves.
This is like. So I have to like.
Dance.
I know, but is it like just whatever my version of dance is?
Yes, whatever your version is.
And it's, the music is in my head. Okay, this is great. Yeah, this isn't gonna make me look like I'm on drugs. No, this is great. You guys see that video of Kevin dancing to no beat at the Times Talk thing? Yeah, man, he was high as a kite. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna see you. Ain't nobody. This is gonna be a big ass meme. So thank you. All right, Tiffany. This is my interpretation of. All right, I'm trying. No, stop it. I don't need that. Stop it. Is that okay? That's mine. In my mind, rain was coming down and everything. Okay, all right, Tiffany. Good luck with yours. I don't know what she about to ask you to pull the moon out the goddamn sky. I don't know. You gotta move the furniture from downstairs and put Kevin's bed up. What?
Okay, Miss Haddish, you are living your best life and are so grateful to the universe that you've made this movie with Kevin, and you want him to take his damn money because you don't owe any man anything.
That was so much easier. Oh, no. Tiffany, don't let your ass come out in front of these people. No, Tiffany, no. No, Tiffany. All right. No, okay. And bop, and bow. Bop, okay, bow. Bop, okay, that's enough. All right, hey. Thank you.
No music necessary.
Thank you. Let's thank Tiffany.
Yes.
Thank you. You were great today.
Thank you.
Y'all show us some love, please.
Jasmine.
I just want to take the opportunity to say, Kevin, Tiffany, thank you so much for this journey. This has been a beautiful journey. Into your life in Colony. You are beautiful people, and I had such a journey.
Who are you?
All right.
Are you the professor?
What,
So much for this journey.
Oh, he's right there. I didn't know where the fuck. Listen. I thought it was the loudspeakers. Thank you, sir. On a serious note, listen.
He must run this place. Look
On
at
a
him.
serious
He look like he run this
note,
place.
we don't take moments like this for granted, okay? The dopest thing about this was that I feel like you guys received the information, and the beauty of the information that was given is real. It's coming from an authentic place. You're looking at two people that have lived it. You're looking at two people that are still living it. We're on the same path and the same journey that you guys are aspiring to be on as well, okay? Don't. With that being said, thank you guys so much. We appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Nice school. Thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
great.
Thank you.
You were great. Go to night school, guys.
All
Thank
right,
you
go
so
see
much.
night school. Tell your friends.